Toyota is known for building some of the most reliable cars ever made, but not every great Toyota became a sales success. Some were launched at the wrong time, some were overshadowed by more popular models, and others were simply ahead of their era. In today's video, we're counting down 12 forgotten Toyota cars that deserved far more recognition than they ever received. Number 12, Toyota Matrix XRS, 2003 to 2008. When most people think of Toyota performance cars from the early 2000s, the Supra, Celica, or even the Corolla XRS usually come to mind. But one of the most overlooked gems from that era was the Toyota Matrix XRS. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a practical compact hatchback designed for families or commuters. It offered plenty of cargo space, comfortable seating for five, and the reliability Toyota was famous for. Hidden beneath its sensible exterior, however, was a surprisingly exciting performance package that transformed the Matrix into one of the most underrated hot hatches of its generation. The secret was its 1.8-liter 2ZZ-GE engine, developed with help from Yamaha. Producing around 180 horsepower, this high-revving engine featured Toyota's VVT-Li variable valve timing system, allowing it to deliver a dramatic surge of power once the engine climbed above 6,000 RPM. Enthusiasts often compared the experience to Honda's famous VTEC engines because of the thrilling transition into its high-performance cam profile. Combined with a 6-speed manual transmission, the Matrix XRS became genuinely fun to drive, while still delivering the practicality expected from a Toyota hatchback. Its handling also surprised many drivers. The sport-tuned suspension, larger brakes, and upgraded wheels gave it far sharper cornering abilities than the standard Matrix. While it wasn't designed to compete directly with hardcore performance cars, it offered an enjoyable balance between everyday usability and weekend excitement. Owners could haul groceries during the week and tackle winding back roads on the weekend without sacrificing reliability or comfort. Unfortunately, timing wasn't on its side. The hot hatch market in North America was still relatively small, and buyers looking for performance often gravitated toward the Honda Civic Si, Volkswagen GTI, Subaru WRX, or Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. Meanwhile, shoppers who wanted practicality usually chose the less expensive standard Matrix models instead of paying extra for the high-performance XRS trim. This left the Matrix XRS stuck in an awkward middle ground, appreciated by enthusiasts, but largely ignored by mainstream buyers. Toyota eventually discontinued the high-performance version, and later Matrix generations never recaptured the same excitement. Today, however, clean Matrix XRS models have earned a loyal following among enthusiasts who appreciate their rare combination of reliability, practicality, and genuine driving fun. Looking back, it's easy to see that the Matrix XRS wasn't just another economy hatchback. It was one of Toyota's best-kept secrets that deserved far more attention than it received. Number 11. Toyota Paseo, 1991 to 1999. In the early 1990s, affordable sporty coupes were everywhere. Manufacturers competed fiercely to attract younger buyers with stylish two-door cars that promised fun without breaking the bank. Toyota entered this growing market with the Paseo, a compact coupe that combined eye-catching styling, excellent fuel economy, and the company's legendary reliability. While it never delivered blistering performance, the Paseo had all the ingredients to become a long-term favorite. Instead, it quietly disappeared from dealerships and is now remembered by only a handful of enthusiasts. Built on the same platform as the Toyota Tercel, the Paseo was powered by a modest 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine. With around 100 horsepower depending on the model year, it wasn't built for drag racing, but its lightweight construction made it feel surprisingly nimble around town. Buyers could choose between manual and automatic transmissions, and later versions were even available as a convertible, giving the little Toyota extra appeal in warmer climates. One of the Paseo's biggest strengths was its balance. It delivered dependable transportation while still offering sporty styling that stood out in parking lots filled with ordinary sedans. The curved roofline, sleek headlights, and compact proportions gave it a youthful personality that appealed to first-time buyers. Inside, Toyota focused on simplicity and durability, creating a cabin that aged remarkably well compared to many competitors from the same era. The problem was that the competition was simply too strong. Honda's Civic Coupe offered better performance and a stronger enthusiast following. Acura's Integra became the dream car for many young drivers, while the Ford Probe, Mitsubishi Eclipse, and Nissan 240SX grabbed attention with more powerful engines and sportier reputations. As a result, the Paseo often found itself overlooked despite offering lower ownership costs and exceptional dependability. Sales gradually declined throughout the decade, and Toyota eventually discontinued the model after 1999 without introducing a direct replacement. Today, surviving Paseos are becoming increasingly rare because many were used as inexpensive daily drivers before eventually being scrapped. Those who remember them often praise their reliability, low maintenance costs, and timeless styling. While it may never have been the fastest coupe on the road, the Toyota Paseo deserved far more appreciation than it received during its lifetime. Number 10. Toyota T100, 1993 to 1998. Today, Toyota is one of the biggest names in the American pickup truck market, thanks to the hugely successful Tundra and Tacoma. But before those trucks became household names, Toyota took a bold gamble with a model that many people have almost forgotten, the Toyota T100. Introduced in 1993, the T100 represented Toyota's first serious attempt to enter the highly competitive full-size pickup segment dominated by Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge. It was an ambitious project that deserved much greater success than it ultimately achieved. The T100 offered everything buyers expected from a Toyota. Build quality was exceptional, reliability was outstanding, and maintenance costs were significantly lower than many domestic competitors. It came with durable 4-cylinder and V6 engine options, a comfortable cabin, and Toyota's reputation for engineering excellence. For buyers who valued dependability above everything else, the T100 seemed like an ideal choice. However, one major problem held it back from the very beginning: size. Although Toyota marketed it as a full-size pickup, the T100 was noticeably smaller than rivals like the Ford F-150, Chevrolet C-Stray, and Dodge Ram. American truck buyers often wanted maximum towing capacity, larger cargo beds, and more interior space, and the T100 simply couldn't match those expectations. Even though it performed well for everyday work and light hauling, many customers viewed it as being caught somewhere between a mid-size and full-size truck. Toyota tried to improve the truck throughout its production run by adding a more powerful 3.4-liter V6 engine and making other refinements, but the perception never changed. Domestic manufacturers continued to dominate the market with larger, more powerful trucks backed by decades of brand loyalty. As a result, the T100 sales remained modest despite receiving praise for its reliability and quality. Yet the T100 story didn't end with its discontinuation. Toyota carefully studied the lessons learned from the truck's shortcomings and used that knowledge to develop its successor, the Toyota Tundra. When the Tundra arrived in 1999, it featured larger dimensions, more powerful engines, and capabilities tailored specifically to American buyers. It quickly became a commercial success, proving that the T100 had been an important stepping stone rather than a failure. Looking back, the Toyota T100 deserves far more credit than it usually receives. It may not have won the sales battle, but it laid the foundation for Toyota's eventual success in one of the toughest automotive markets in the world. Without the T100, the modern Tundra might never have become the respected full-size pickup it is today. Number 9. Toyota Serra, 1990 to 1995. Some cars become famous because of their speed, while others earn recognition through bold design. The Toyota Serra belonged firmly in the second category. Introduced exclusively in Japan in 1990, the Serra looked unlike anything else Toyota had ever built. Its most striking feature was a pair of dramatic butterfly doors that swung upward and outward, giving the compact coupe the appearance of an exotic supercar. Years before doors like these became associated with high-end sports cars and hypercars, Toyota had already brought the concept to an affordable production vehicle. Yet despite its groundbreaking design, the Serra remained largely unknown outside Japan, making it one of the company's most forgotten masterpieces. The Serra's futuristic styling extended far beyond its doors. A sweeping glass canopy wrapped around much of the cabin, creating an airy panoramic view for both the driver and passenger. Large curved windows and an expansive rear hatch made the car feel open and modern, even by today's standards. The design was so unconventional that many people assumed it was a concept car whenever they first saw one. Toyota engineers spent years perfecting the complex door mechanism, ensuring that the butterfly doors could operate smoothly while requiring surprisingly little space to open in tight parking spots. Power came from a modest 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine producing around 104 horsepower. While those figures weren't enough to make the Serra a performance icon, the car's lightweight construction made it lively and enjoyable to drive around city streets. Toyota focused on creating a fun, stylish coupe rather than an outright sports car, and buyers appreciated its smooth handling, responsive steering, and excellent reliability. It wasn't built to dominate racetracks, it was built to make every drive feel a little more special. The Serra also became known for its innovative technology. Certain versions featured Toyota's advanced Super Live surround sound system, one of the most elaborate factory audio systems available at the time. Multiple speakers, movable tweeters, and sophisticated sound controls transformed the tiny cabin into an impressive listening environment. For a compact coupe in the early 1990s, this level of audio engineering was remarkably advanced and demonstrated Toyota's willingness to experiment with new ideas. Despite all its innovation, the Serra faced one major limitation. It was sold only in the Japanese domestic market. Without official exports to North America or Europe, very few people outside Japan ever had the opportunity to see one in person. Its small engine also meant it lacked the performance credentials needed to build an international enthusiast following. As a result, the Serra quietly disappeared when production ended in 1995, with fewer than 16,000 examples ever built. Interestingly, the Serra's influence lived on long after production ended. Gordon Murray, the legendary designer behind the McLaren F1, has openly acknowledged studying the Serra's butterfly door mechanism when developing his groundbreaking supercar. That's an incredible legacy for a small Japanese coupe that most people have never even heard of. Today, imported Serras have become highly sought after by collectors who appreciate their unique styling, engineering creativity, and historical significance. Looking back, it's hard not to wonder how much bigger its impact could have been if Toyota had sold it around the world. Number 8. Toyota Cressida, 1976 to 1992. Before Lexus transformed Toyota into a global luxury powerhouse, there was the Toyota Cressida. Throughout the late 1970s and 1980s, the Cressida quietly established itself as one of Toyota's most refined and comfortable sedans. It combined premium features, smooth performance, and outstanding reliability in a package that rivaled many European luxury cars for a fraction of the ownership cost. Yet despite all of its strengths, the Cressida never received the recognition it truly deserved during its production years. The Cressida was built on a rear-wheel drive platform and, in many markets, came equipped with Toyota's silky smooth inline-six engines. These engines delivered effortless power and exceptional durability, earning a reputation for lasting hundreds of thousands of miles with proper maintenance. Combined with a comfortable suspension and quiet cabin, the Cressida offered a driving experience that felt far more expensive than its price suggested. Inside, Toyota packed the Cressida with features that were considered luxurious for the era. Depending on the trim level, buyers could enjoy plush velour or leather seating, automatic climate control, premium audio systems, power-adjustable seats, cruise control, and digital instrument clusters. At a time when many family sedans still offered fairly basic interiors, the Cressida stood out as an upscale alternative that emphasized comfort and refinement without sacrificing dependability. Unfortunately, the car found itself trapped in an awkward position within the marketplace. Buyers seeking luxury often chose established European brands such as BMW or Mercedes-Benz because of their prestigious badges. Meanwhile, Toyota's reputation at the time centered primarily on affordable economy cars like the Corolla and Camry, making it difficult for customers to associate the brand with premium automobiles. As a result, the Cressida struggled to establish a clear identity, despite offering impressive value. Everything changed in 1989 with the arrival of the Lexus brand. Toyota introduced the Lexus LS400 and shifted its premium ambitions toward the new luxury division. The Cressida gradually faded away, eventually disappearing from many markets altogether. Although Lexus became a tremendous success, the Cressida was largely forgotten as attention shifted toward newer luxury models. Ironically, the Cressida became far more popular decades after production ended. Enthusiasts discovered that its rear-wheel drive chassis, strong inline-six engines, and durable mechanical components made it an excellent platform for modification. Many owners swapped in Toyota's legendary 1JZ and 2JZ turbocharged engines, transforming the once underappreciated luxury sedan into a serious performance machine. Today, clean, original Cressidas are becoming increasingly difficult to find, and their values continue to rise as collectors recognize just how special they were. The Cressida may have lived in the shadow of both European luxury brands and Lexus, but it laid an important foundation for Toyota's future success in the premium segment. Number 7. Toyota FJ Cruiser, 2006 to 2022 globally. When Toyota unveiled the FJ Cruiser in the mid-2000s, reactions were mixed. Inspired by the legendary FJ40 Land Cruiser of the 1960s, the new SUV embraced retro styling with a bold front grille, round headlights, white roof options, and rugged proportions that immediately stood out from every other vehicle on the road. Some people loved its distinctive appearance, while others dismissed it as too quirky and impractical, Sales started strong but gradually declined in several markets, leading Toyota to discontinue the model in North America after the 2014 model year. Looking back, however, many enthusiasts believe the FJ Cruiser was simply ahead of its time. Beneath its retro bodywork was serious off-road hardware, built on a body-on-frame platform shared with the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado and related to the Tacoma and 4Runner. The FJ Cruiser was engineered to tackle difficult terrain with ease. Features such as four-wheel drive, a locking rear differential, active traction control, and impressive ground clearance allowed it to conquer mud, rocks, sand, and snow without hesitation. Whether climbing steep mountain trails or crossing remote desert landscapes, the FJ Cruiser proved that it was much more than a stylish SUV. Power came from Toyota's proven 4.0-liter V6 engine, producing more than 230 horsepower depending on the model year and market. Paired with either a 6-speed manual or 5-speed automatic transmission, the engine earned praise for its reliability, smooth power delivery, and ability to withstand years of demanding use. Like many Toyota trucks, the FJ Cruiser developed a reputation for reaching extremely high mileage with relatively few major mechanical issues. Still, the SUV wasn't without its flaws. Thick roof pillars and the distinctive rear-hinged half-doors created significant blind spots, making visibility more challenging than in many competitors. Rear seat access could also be inconvenient, especially in tight parking spaces, and fuel economy wasn't particularly impressive. These compromises caused many mainstream buyers to choose more practical crossovers instead, especially as the SUV market increasingly shifted toward comfort and efficiency. Despite slowing sales, the FJ Cruiser developed a fiercely loyal community of owners. Off-road enthusiasts praised its durability and capability, while overlanding adventurers appreciated its reliability in remote locations. Countless examples have been modified with lift kits, roof racks, oversized tires, and camping equipment, proving that the FJ Cruiser could handle adventures that many modern SUVs simply weren't designed to tackle. Perhaps the strongest evidence that the FJ Cruiser deserved better is what happened after production ended. Rather than becoming cheaper over time, used values climbed dramatically. Low-mileage examples often sell for prices that rival or even exceed their original sticker prices, something very few mass-produced SUVs can claim. In several international markets, Toyota continued producing the FJ Cruiser long after North American sales ended because demand remained strong. Today, the FJ Cruiser is widely recognized as one of Toyota's greatest modern off-road vehicles. What was once criticized for its unusual styling has become a highly desirable collectible, admired for its rugged engineering, timeless design, and go-anywhere capability. It's a perfect example of a vehicle that was underestimated during its lifetime, but appreciated far more once it was gone. Number 6. Toyota MR2 Spyder, 1999 to 2007. When Toyota introduced the third-generation MR2, many fans expected the company to build on the turbocharged legacy of the second-generation model. Instead, Toyota surprised everyone by taking the sports car in a completely different direction. Rather than chasing higher horsepower numbers, the company focused on reducing weight, improving balance, and delivering one of the purest open-top driving experiences available at any price. Unfortunately, this dramatic change divided enthusiasts. Many dismissed the MR2 Spyder because it lacked the turbocharged excitement of its predecessor, causing one of Toyota's finest driver's cars to become one of its most overlooked. The MR2 Spyder followed a simple philosophy: less weight equals more fun. Weighing just over 2,000 pounds, depending on the specification, it was significantly lighter than many sports cars of its era. Its lightweight construction made every horsepower count, allowing drivers to enjoy quick responses, agile cornering, and excellent braking performance without needing a massive engine under the hood. The result was a car that rewarded skill and precision rather than brute force. Power came from Toyota's dependable 1.8-liter 1ZZFE four-cylinder engine, producing around 138 horsepower. On paper, those numbers looked unimpressive compared to rivals like the Honda S2000 or Nissan 350Z. However, because the engine sat directly behind the driver in a true mid-engine layout, the MR2 Spyder achieved exceptional weight distribution. This gave the car incredibly responsive handling, making it feel far more exciting on winding roads than its modest specifications suggested. Every steering input felt immediate, and the chassis communicated exactly what the tires were doing, giving drivers tremendous confidence through corners. Toyota also kept the cabin refreshingly simple. The interior emphasized driving rather than luxury, with supportive seats, straightforward controls, and excellent outward visibility thanks to the compact dimensions. The manually operated soft top could be folded down in seconds, transforming the MR2 into an enjoyable roadster that encouraged drivers to seek out scenic backroads rather than crowded highways. It wasn't about impressive straight-line acceleration, it was about maximizing the connection between the driver, the road, and the machine. Still, the MR2 Spider faced criticism from the moment it launched. Many enthusiasts couldn't overlook the absence of a factory turbocharged engine, especially after the legendary second-generation MR2 Turbo had earned a reputation as a serious performance car. Limited cargo space also reduced everyday practicality, and early versions of the 1ZZ engine experienced oil consumption issues that affected some owners. As a result, sales never reached Toyota's expectations, and the model quietly disappeared from many markets. Over the years, attitudes toward the MR2 Spider have changed dramatically. Enthusiasts began to appreciate its lightweight engineering in an era when sports cars were becoming increasingly heavier and more complex. Its simple mechanical design also made it popular for engine swaps, with many owners installing Toyota's high-revving 2ZZ-GE engine or even turbocharged power plants, unlocking performance that the chassis could easily handle. Today, the MR2 Spider is widely regarded as one of the best affordable mid-engine sports cars ever built. Clean, unmodified examples are becoming increasingly difficult to find, and collectors are beginning to recognize the model's unique place in Toyota history. What once seemed like a disappointing successor has become a reminder that driving enjoyment isn't measured solely by horsepower. The MR2 Spider deserved far more appreciation than it received when it was new. Number 5. Toyota Celica All-Track Turbo, 1988 to 1993. Long before the GR Corolla and GR Yaris demonstrated Toyota's modern performance ambitions, the company was already building rally-inspired machines capable of competing with the world's best sports cars. One of the greatest examples was the Celica All-Track Turbo, a vehicle that combined turbocharged power, sophisticated all-wheel drive, and championship-winning engineering. Despite its impressive credentials, it remained one of Toyota's least appreciated performance cars during its time on the market. The Celica All-Track Turbo was created to satisfy the homologation requirements of the World Rally Championship. Toyota needed a production car that closely resembled its competition vehicle, meaning buyers could purchase technology that had been developed for some of the toughest racing stages in the world. This wasn't simply a sporty trim package, it was a road-going rally machine built with genuine performance in mind. At the heart of the car was Toyota's legendary turbocharged 2.0-liter 3S GTE engine. Depending on the model year and market, it produced between 100 and 200 horsepower, impressive figures for the late 1980s and early 1990s. More importantly, the engine developed strong torque throughout the rev range, allowing the Celica to accelerate confidently on both pavement and loose surfaces. Combined with a 5-speed manual transmission, the powertrain delivered an engaging driving experience that appealed to enthusiasts looking for something different from traditional rear-wheel drive sports cars. Its sophisticated full-time all-wheel drive system set it apart from many competitors. The system maximized traction during hard acceleration and inspired confidence in rain, snow, and gravel. Whether attacking winding mountain roads or navigating slippery conditions, the Celica All-Track Turbo felt planted and composed. The suspension was carefully tuned to balance everyday comfort with genuine performance, making it equally capable as a daily driver and a weekend canyon carver. Toyota's motorsport success further strengthened the car's reputation. Throughout the early 1990s, the Celica GT4, the international version closely related to the All-Track Turbo, won multiple World Rally Championship titles and helped establish Toyota as one of rally racing's dominant manufacturers. Legendary drivers piloted these machines to victories across challenging events ranging from icy Scandinavian forests to rough African desert stages. The technology proven in competition directly influenced the road car that buyers could purchase from dealerships. Despite its outstanding engineering, the Celica All-Track Turbo struggled commercially. It carried a relatively high price compared to front-wheel drive Celica models, placing it within reach of more powerful sports cars from competing manufacturers. Limited production numbers also meant that many buyers never even had the opportunity to see one in local showrooms. As a result, sales remained modest and the car quietly faded from the spotlight. Today, the story couldn't be more different. Enthusiasts now recognize the All-Track Turbo as one of Toyota's greatest performance achievements. Well-preserved examples command strong prices, while collectors value the model for its direct connection to Toyota's rally dominance. Its durable 3S GTE engine remains highly respected within the tuning community, and many owners continue to modify these cars for both street and motorsport use. Looking back, it's clear that the Celica All-Track Turbo deserved far greater recognition during its original production run. Number 4. Toyota Previa, 1990 to 1997. At first glance, it's difficult to imagine a minivan appearing on a list of forgotten cars that deserved better. Yet the Toyota Previa was no ordinary family vehicle. When it debuted in the early 1990s, it featured engineering so unconventional that many people still consider it one of the most fascinating minivans ever built. While competitors focused on simple front-engine layouts and practical packaging, Toyota chose an entirely different path, creating a vehicle that pushed the boundaries of automotive design in ways few manufacturers would ever attempt again. The Previa's most remarkable feature was its engine placement. Instead of sitting beneath the hood like almost every other minivan, its four-cylinder engine was mounted nearly underneath the front seats in a mid-engine configuration. Engineers tilted the engine at a steep angle to maximize interior space while maintaining a low center of gravity. This unusual layout gave the Previa balanced handling characteristics that were unheard of in the minivan segment and contributed to its exceptionally smooth ride. Toyota didn't stop there. For buyers seeking additional performance, the company offered a supercharged version of the Previa. The addition of forced induction significantly improved acceleration without sacrificing reliability, making it one of the very few supercharged minivans ever sold to the public. The idea sounded almost unbelievable then, and it remains one of the most unusual production vehicles Toyota has ever created. The futuristic design matched the innovative engineering underneath. The rounded body, enormous windshield, sweeping roofline, and panoramic visibility made the Previa look years ahead of its competitors. Inside, passengers enjoyed generous seating space, flexible interior configurations, and excellent outward visibility. Families appreciated its comfort, while children often loved the unique driving position and spacious cabin that felt unlike anything else on the road. Despite all of these strengths, the Previa faced significant challenges in the marketplace. Its complex engineering made it more expensive to manufacture than conventional minivans, and servicing the unusual engine layout could be more time-consuming for mechanics. Meanwhile, rivals such as the Dodge Caravan and Honda Odyssey emphasized simplicity, practicality, and lower prices, attracting a larger share of family buyers. For many consumers, conventional solutions simply seemed easier to live with. As consumer preferences evolved, Toyota eventually replaced the Previa in North America with the more conventional Sienna. While the Sienna went on to become a tremendous success, it also marked the end of Toyota's willingness to experiment so boldly within the minivan segment. The Previa's unique engineering disappeared, and no direct successor attempted to replicate its mid-engine layout or futuristic approach. Today, the Toyota Previa has developed a devoted following among automotive enthusiasts who admire its engineering originality. Collectors actively seek supercharged models, and clean examples have become increasingly difficult to find. Looking back, the Previa represents a time when Toyota wasn't afraid to take risks and challenge industry conventions. It may have been misunderstood during its production years, but history has been much kinder to this remarkable family vehicle, proving that innovation doesn't always receive immediate appreciation. Number 3. Toyota Corona Mark II, 1968 to 1976. Long before the Supra, Lexus, or even the famous Mark II performance sedans became household names among enthusiasts, Toyota introduced a car that quietly helped reshape its reputation. That car was the Toyota Corona Mark II. First launched in 1968, the Corona Mark II wasn't designed to be an economy car like the standard Corona. Instead, it targeted buyers who wanted something more refined, more spacious, and more prestigious, without paying luxury car prices. Although it never became a global superstar, this understated sedan laid the foundation for one of Toyota's longest-running and most respected model families. At first glance, the Corona Mark II looked elegant rather than flashy. Its long hood, clean body lines, and balanced proportions reflected the styling trends of the late 1960s while hinting at Toyota's growing confidence as an automaker. Compared to the regular Corona, the Mark II offered a larger body, more comfortable seating, and a more premium driving experience. Toyota was beginning to move beyond simply building reliable transportation. It wanted to compete with established European and American manufacturers in the executive car market. Mechanically, the Mark II featured rear-wheel drive, a layout that would later become a defining characteristic of Toyota's performance sedans. Depending on the market and model year, buyers could choose from a range of inline-4 and inline-6 engines, giving the car smooth power delivery and respectable performance for its time. The suspension prioritized comfort without sacrificing stability, making long-distance travel pleasant, while still providing confident handling on winding roads. Inside the cabin, Toyota focused on quality and practicality. Higher quality materials, improved sound insulation, and thoughtful ergonomics created an interior that felt more upscale than many of Toyota's previous offerings. Buyers appreciated the spacious seating, large trunk, and refined ride quality, making the Corona Mark II popular with professionals and families who wanted dependable transportation wrapped in a premium package. Despite its strengths, the Corona Mark II rarely attracted the spotlight outside Japan. In many export markets, Toyota was still primarily known for affordable compact cars, rather than executive sedans. Buyers seeking luxury often gravitated toward European brands with more established reputations, while domestic Japanese rivals were rapidly expanding their own premium offerings. As a result, the Mark II quietly built a loyal customer base without ever becoming an international icon. What makes the Corona Mark II especially important today is the legacy it created. Over the following decades, the Mark II evolved into one of Toyota's most respected rear-wheel drive platforms. Later generations gave birth to enthusiast favorites like the Chaser and Cresta, many of which featured the legendary 1JZ and 2JZ inline-six engines. These cars became heroes of Japan's drifting and tuning culture, earning worldwide recognition long after the original Corona Mark II had faded from memory. Looking back, it's easy to underestimate just how influential the first Corona Mark II really was. It proved Toyota could build refined, comfortable, and dependable executive cars while establishing a platform that would evolve into some of the company's greatest performance sedans. Without the Corona Mark II, Toyota's performance heritage in the rear-wheel drive sedan segment might have looked very different. It may not receive the recognition of the Supra or AE86 today, but its contribution to Toyota's history was enormous and deserves far more appreciation. Number 2. Toyota Soarer, 1981 to 2005. If there is one Toyota that perfectly demonstrates the company's engineering ambition during the 1980s and 1990s, it's the Toyota Soarer. Long before modern luxury Grand Tourers became common, the Soarer combined advanced technology, powerful engines, elegant styling, and remarkable comfort into one sophisticated package. It represented Toyota at its technological best, yet outside Japan, it often lived in the shadow of its own Lexus counterpart. As a result, one of Toyota's greatest luxury performance cars never received the worldwide recognition it truly deserved. When the first-generation Soarer debuted in 1981, it immediately showcased Toyota's desire to challenge premium European coupes. Its sharp styling, pillarless body design, and luxurious interior gave it an upscale appearance that rivaled far more expensive competitors. Under the hood, buyers could choose smooth inline-six engines that delivered effortless cruising performance while maintaining Toyota's reputation for reliability. As new generations arrived, the Soarer became increasingly sophisticated. Toyota equipped it with features that seemed almost futuristic at the time, including electronically adjustable suspension, digital instrument clusters, automatic climate control, premium audio systems, touchscreen interfaces on some models, and advanced onboard electronics. Many of these technologies appeared in the Soarer years before becoming common across the automotive industry. Performance evolved alongside luxury. Later models offered turbocharged inline-six engines, as well as smooth and powerful V8 options. Whether carving through mountain roads or cruising comfortably on long highway journeys, the Soarer excelled as a true grand touring coupe. It wasn't built for aggressive track driving like the Supra, but instead focused on combining speed, refinement, and everyday usability into one exceptionally well-rounded automobile. The arrival of the Lexus brand dramatically changed the Soarer's future. In many international markets, Toyota rebadged the car as the Lexus SC, giving it a new identity aimed at luxury buyers. While the Lexus SC earned praise around the world, the Toyota Soarer name gradually disappeared from the global conversation. Enthusiasts often discuss the Lexus version without realizing that the original engineering, development, and heritage belonged to Toyota's domestic flagship coupe. The Soarer also became an important platform for enthusiasts. Many versions shared components with the legendary Toyota Supra, including powerful inline-six engines that responded exceptionally well to aftermarket tuning. Owners modified these cars for drifting, drag racing, and high-speed touring, proving that beneath the luxurious exterior was a remarkably capable performance machine. Today, the Toyota Soarer remains somewhat overlooked compared to icons like the Supra, Celica, or AE86 Corolla. Yet collectors increasingly recognize its historical importance. Clean, well-maintained examples are becoming more valuable, particularly turbocharged variants and later V8 models. Looking back, the Sora represented everything Toyota was capable of achieving when engineering excellence took priority over mass market appeal. It deserved to be remembered not simply as the car that became the Lexus SC, but as one of the finest Grand Touring coupes Toyota ever produced. Number 1. Toyota 2000 GT, 1967 to 1970. Every great automaker has one car that changes how the world sees the brand. For Ferrari, it was the 250 GTO. For Jaguar, it was the E-Type. For Toyota, that car was the breathtaking 2000 GT. Today, it is celebrated as one of the most beautiful and collectible Japanese cars ever built. Yet during its own production run, it struggled to find buyers, making it perhaps the greatest forgotten success story in Toyota's history. When development began in the mid-1960s, Toyota wanted to prove that Japanese manufacturers could build world-class sports cars capable of competing with Europe's finest. To accomplish this ambitious goal, the company partnered with Yamaha, whose engineering expertise played a major role in developing the car's sophisticated chassis and high-performance engine. The result was unlike anything Toyota had ever produced before. The 2000 GT featured an elegant, low-slung body with flowing curves, hidden pop-up headlights, and near-perfect proportions. Even decades later, many automotive historians consider it one of the most beautiful sports cars ever designed. Its styling wasn't simply attractive, it was aerodynamic, timeless, and unmistakably distinctive. The car immediately challenged the stereotype that Japanese vehicles could only be practical economy cars. Under the hood sat a specially developed 2.0-liter inline-six engine featuring dual overhead camshafts, producing around 150 horsepower. While that figure may seem modest today, it was highly competitive during the late 1960s. Combined with a lightweight chassis, four-wheel independent suspension, four-wheel disc brakes, and a 5-speed manual transmission, the 2000 GT delivered handling and performance that impressed journalists around the world. It wasn't merely fast, it was refined, balanced, and exceptionally advanced for its era. Inside, Toyota paid extraordinary attention to craftsmanship. The dashboard featured beautifully finished wood trim inspired by Yamaha's expertise in musical instruments, while the cabin included premium materials and ergonomically designed controls that reflected the company's commitment to quality. Every detail demonstrated that Toyota wasn't simply building transportation, it was building a genuine Grand Touring sports car capable of standing alongside the world's best. Despite receiving widespread praise from automotive publications, the 2000 GT faced one overwhelming obstacle: its price. Because of its hand-built construction and advanced engineering, it cost more than many established European sports cars, including some versions of the Porsche 911 and Jaguar E-Type. Buyers often preferred spending that kind of money on prestigious European brands with decades of racing heritage, making it difficult for Toyota to convince customers to take a chance on an unfamiliar Japanese sports car. As a result, production remained extremely limited. Only 351 examples were built between 1967 and 1970, making the 2000 GT one of the rarest production cars Toyota has ever produced. Commercially, it wasn't the success Toyota had hoped for, but its long-term impact was extraordinary. The 2000 GT shattered global misconceptions about Japanese engineering, demonstrated that Toyota could compete on the world stage, and inspired generations of performance cars that followed, including the Celica, MR2, and Supra. Today, the 2000 GT is no longer forgotten by collectors. Exceptional examples have sold for well over $1 million at auction, placing the car among the most valuable Japanese automobiles ever built. It regularly appears in lists of the greatest sports cars of all time, admired for its beauty, rarity, and historical significance. The irony is impossible to ignore. A car that struggled to sell when new has become one of the most desirable classics in the world. It proved that Toyota was capable of building an automotive masterpiece decades before most people believed it could. More than any other forgotten Toyota, the 2000 GT deserved better, not because it lacked greatness, but because the world simply wasn't ready to appreciate it.